Why no one wins until we all win. Do you remember playing party games when you were a kid? There's so many of them that taught us that being in competition and being the winner is the best. But maybe this led to you feeling like a loser when you've come second, or third, or fourth, or did you come last? It's horrible, isn't it? And when you get into the habit of competing, would you agree that you may start to actually believe that it is the only way, that competition is the only way? It's such a strong belief these days. So, for a moment, I want you to imagine that you could approach life with a completely collaborative mindset. A mindset that means everyone wins. There are no losers. And what if you were part of a community where everybody else helped you to achieve what you wanted rather than competing for something just for the sake of it, just because it's a habit? It's ingrained in us, it's programmed into us. Well, I believe that these habits and these beliefs that hold you back, beliefs around scarcity, around separation, around being scared, it makes you really scared. Well, at the Find Your Why Foundation, myself, Marion Bevington, and Cheryl Chapman, my partner in crime, we've co-created an amazing community of wise men and wise women. And to facilitate the whole community playing to their own strengths, we usually work either in the Live Love Laugh Lounge, which is home to the wonderful group that we fondly refer to as the Wise Women. And this community has been created to help other women, like-minded women like you maybe, to find your why, to become frickin' awesome. And we've got the Man Cave, which is for the wise men to find their why, to become frickin' awesome. So we recently asked the whole community about what was it that was holding them back from living a full and happy life. And the answer was sad. Now, I'm not talking about seasonal affective disorder. You might be thinking, what else do I mean when I say sad? Well, SAD, S-A-D, is what we call the sad truth. Because all of the answers to what holds you back can be associated to three basic fears. Those scary, scary fears. There's only three basic ones. S is for substandard, which is about I'm not worthy, or I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not clever enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy of love. That's what substandard stands for. The A is for abandoned, and that's about feeling isolated, feeling alone, feeling like there's nobody there for you, that nobody knows your problems, that you're the only one. That's feeling abandoned. And then the D is about danger. So this is where people feel that they're not safe. They believe that they're not safe. Now, we've all got all three of these fears, but usually one of them will be much stronger. So substandard and not worthy, or abandoned, feeling isolated and alone, or feeling that you're in danger, that it's just not safe. And these are the basic three fears out of which all other fears flourish. Now, that's awful, isn't it? But guess what? There is some good news. Yay! These fears are out of date. Put this another way, they are just like old apps. They're old programs. They've been handed down for generations, and they are in dire need of an upgrade. Now, the benefit of deprogramming these obsolete and out of date and dysfunctional beliefs and programs is that when you've been deprogrammed, it will turbocharge your mindset for happiness, for abundance, and for success. So it shifts you into the opposite state of mind. Now, society is so full of victims. Most of us are victims of some sort or another, some kind of programming, media programming, social programming, societal programming. There are so many different ways that we get programmed, and these are obsolete, out of date and dysfunctional programs all too often. This sort of programming, it tells you that you're broken, that you're not good enough, that you need to be fixed. And it's so intense and so fast paced that it's difficult to keep up. Now, think about the current political situation. It's all in or out, the Brexit situation in the UK. And there are so many reasons for staying, but guess what? Most of those reasons seem to be scaremongering. There are so many good reasons for leaving, and guess what? Most of those reasons are scaremongering. And maybe, rather than in or out, it would be better to just shake it all about. Now, I believe for cooperation to work, there needs to be a way to find a higher perspective, a way to elevate the consciousness of the whole species, of the whole of the human race. And now I know it sounds difficult to understand, never mind to achieve this, but the beginning of it all is just to start by looking within. Start by looking within and identifying these beliefs that are holding you back, these programs that are holding you back, these apps that are creating dysfunction, they're overloading you, and you do not need them. Well, let's go back to how it all began. So, do you remember playing children's games at a party when you were a child? Or maybe an adult? You remember how much fun it was carefree, and you were sharing the fun and the love and the playfulness in the room, full of happiness, full of glee, great kids' parties. I loved them. And the music was playing and there was dancing and happy faces. And kids are free, aren't they? They just play and they have fun. And then the adults decide, I know, let's keep them busy. I was already busy dancing. But anyway, the adults decided they were going to show us some games. They were going to share the games, the ones that they'd learnt when they were kids. They'd been passed down to them. So they were going to pass them down to me. So we started playing games like Pass the Parcel. And then we'd play games like musical statues. And then we'd play games like musical chairs. Do you remember those games? So, what was it that made musical chairs so exciting? It's the idea of being the winner. It's the idea of being the fastest, or if you're not the fastest, the most agile. And if you weren't the luckiest, or you weren't close enough to the seat of the chair when the music stopped, you could simply be the strongest and push the little kid off the chair. So you were just willing to win at any cost. Now think about that. All that did was promote the idea of being the strongest, being the fastest, being the best, being different. And here's the important and sad truth: being separate. You were put into a competitive position where you were learning that you must compete to get ahead. So let's investigate that thought a little bit more. Is that actually true? Well, in our house, it wasn't true. There was an abundance of chairs, more than enough for everyone in the house. And what was the outcome of taking a chair away at the end of each round? What did that do? Well, it trained you to think that there are not enough chairs. And what does that do? Well, the outcome of all of that is that you begin to, when you're playing the game, you're watching more closely and you're watching the chairs and you're devising your strategy so that you can get to the chair quicker. And you're not even dancing properly anymore, or you're not running properly anymore. And it's not fun anymore. Now it's got really serious. Remember those thought processes? I'm going to push that little kid who only a moment before was my loveliest best friend, but now I'm going to push him off the chair because I need him. And this kept on going, and they kept taking chairs away, and we kept on fighting over the chairs, and then there's only one chair left, and it's supposed to be a game. But the truth is that we learned that this is all about lack, and that's what we were taught from as young as 5, or maybe younger. And the kid I pushed off the chair, that was my little brother. There's a certain way that we need to be able to survive on the planet. You need to compete to look after number 1 if you want to win. And this is where the fear of losing begins. Musical chairs can help you to become a cutthroat, competitive, self-centered person. This is another sad truth. A world like this is one where we are alone and we feel lonely. It's a really sad and scary place. But what if that's not the only way? What if that is not the truth? So think about nurturing experiences that you've had when you've been surrounded by love. You know, your parents, or maybe for you it's other relatives or friends that you grew up with. You know, when you got into a relationship with any loved one, you're free to explore this wonderful world, to be creative, to play without concern. You don't have to worry about getting it right. You can be really creative and just express yourself for who you are. And you don't have to worry about who you ought to be. Now, would it be fair to say that you felt accepted as yourself when you're in a connection like this, when you're in a part of a community where you're respected for being you? You feel safe, you feel at ease, and that helps you to feel compassion and considerate. And all of that is surrounded by love. Can you see that? When you're in that situation, in that nurturing and experience, can you see how it makes you feel to feel safe and nurtured and accepted? Because when those around you have got lots of self-esteem, they've got lots of self-confidence, they've got compassion, that when they're giving and receiving love, their confidence increases. And then I feel that love, and I feel that confidence, and I feel accepted, and I feel desired, and I feel connected, and it feeds my heart, and it feeds my soul, and it brings me deep joy and fulfilled satisfaction. Now, isn't that the kind of world that you want to live in? And wouldn't you agree that when you feel safe and welcome and happy, where you feel joy on a regular basis, when you're in a community where you're allowed to feel all of your feelings, to express them as soon as they arrive without fear of losing out, without fear of being rejected, without fear of being abandoned, without fear of being judged or criticised? Cheryl and myself have co-created so much over the past couple of years when we've been in business together. We're collaborating together. And it all began with the Live, Love, Laugh Lounge. Now, this is a space for like-minded women to support each other and to experience a collaborative community space. It's where we share with our wise women, and these are women who know their why, where we share some deep and meaningful lessons of life. Now, you can access these lessons online. We've got a place where we keep all of our lessons and all of our goodies. It's called the Knicker Drawer. Well, I mean, that's where you store your valuables too, right? We've also got the Man Cave, and we started that because so many of our clients who are men wanted to get the same kind of opportunity to be part of a collaborative, creative community. And so now the wise men are able to support each other in their own like-minded group. And the amount of success and the amount of achievement that we get out of these groups that we witness all the time is just amazing. I love it. So what's in the Knicker Drawer? Well, it's full of some really amazing goodies, and we take you and your life to a much more profound level of fulfillment. It's got custom designed step-by-step video lessons and classes. It's got workbooks, and with all of that content, it's organised into very easy to digest topics for you, enabling you to continue your journey to awesomeness. Now, with our 100 years plus of life experience between us, we found that there are just 3 areas that you need to know in order to find your why. So the first area is awareness. And here you can explore how and why these beliefs and these negative thoughts are embedded in the subconscious programming and from a very early age. How do they get there? Why do they stick? And why are they so dysfunctional? And not only do you start to understand the why of all of that negative stuff, but you also become aware of what you need to do to change it. Now, with any personal development or change, awareness is always the first step. And so we've got the Live, Love, Laugh lessons online, which contains the knicker drawer, and you'll be able to shine a bright light of awareness at the root of problems that are potentially holding you back. And you'll become aware of exactly what you need to do to shift those dysfunctional programs and to build the ones that are going to give you that profound level of fulfillment. So that's awareness. The next part is intention. Now, with intention, setting an intention actively and consciously means that you're choosing your beliefs, you're choosing your thoughts, your actions and your behaviour. And this is how you create real and lasting change in your life. So discovering the keys to finding your why and creating the life that you really want, a life that's filled with purpose, it's got a deeper connection to yourself and to other people. And you get to live your life in alignment with your own highest values, which means you can embrace the authentic you. That's about intention. And the final point that you need in order to find your why begins with an M. So we've got A for awareness, I for intention, M for manifest. We also call it move your arse, because learning powerful and simple tools and techniques, actions that will take you and your life to the next level. So the Live, Love, Laugh lessons online provides you with all the teachings that you need to help to facilitate how to raise your own consciousness and to sustain it. Discovering a few simple tweaks to your own process that can absolutely turbocharge the results that you're getting in your life so that you get the life that you truly desire. So this is all about collaboration versus competition. Now, I believe that the drive to compete actually keeps you locked into a system that feeds on itself. Jealousy, envy, constant comparing and measuring. It just leads us to constantly and continuously feeling that I'm not enough. Does that make sense? It's obsessive. It sticks in the mind. You're just looking everywhere to see what other people have got and lacking what you believe you don't have in your life, which means you don't appreciate what you do have. Now, here's the thing. When you discover a better way, when you discover a way that not only accepts but honours the unique gifts that you've got and allows you to completely collaborate and create as yourself and to have more fun, you can do all of this while accessing greater happiness and abundance and prosperity in your life. Now, as the saying goes, no man is an island. Well, that's right for women too. So this is all about collaboration. And the Find Your Why Foundation members, or the Whys tribe, it's growing. And we are constantly amazed at the shifts, at the transformation, at the success that we witness again and again. Together we can do so much more. We can do it faster, we can do it stronger, we can do it with a greater sense of connection and meaning and fulfillment. However, we know that not everyone in this world is going to lift you up and inspire you to be your best self. The competitive mindset is part of the world that we live in, and it's part of the world that we have to navigate our way through. So this is why we want to help as many women and men as we can to find your why. So in the Live, Love, Laugh Lounge, we're the WHYsWomen, this creative, collaborative community of like-minded women. We've also got the man cave for the WHYsMen, because we now know that you don't have to figure it out on your own and you don't have to do it alone. That's what this creative, collaborative community is all about. Learning how to thrive in this kind of supportive community, how to build clear boundaries that support you, that support your growth, that help you to navigate through your world safely and have fun while you're doing it. Bring joy back into your life. And this is a huge part of what we offer in the Live, Love, Laugh Lounge and in the Man Cave. Now, every one of you has a unique path to follow. You have a unique path to follow. Your path and my path are not the same. So, discover how to get clear on your unique path and how you can step out of the fear mode, Step out of these sad expressions, these sad fears that scare us, scare the life out of us, and open yourself up to the possibility to access your true sense of purpose. You can step into your own authentic life where you're smiling more often than not, where you're happy more than you're sad, where you're waiting to get up in the morning full of life, enjoying life, surrounded by people and influences that fill your heart with gratitude. Claim your true power and create a life that you love living every day. You have something unique and amazing to offer the world. Everybody does. I know you do. So let's discover how to dig down deep inside yourself and find your unique mission, your unique journey, your unique path and your unique purpose. Find your why to become frickin' awesome. Now remember, it's your why. It's not anybody else's. Can you picture what is the true life of happiness that you really do want to create? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? Can you get a sense of clarity on that? This is one of the areas that we work on immediately when you join the Find Your Why Foundation membership. And this is going to help to get you the answers so that you are clear on exactly what you do want, where you want to go, how you want to be, and what you're going to do when you get there. Now, I'm going to have a link below this so that you can get a free copy of the book, the Find Your Why to Become Frickin' Awesome book. Now, it's a free copy that you can get off the website, but we do ask for a small contribution towards the shipping and handling, and it keeps the packing department in employment. And the packing department are called Glenys and John. It's Cheryl's mum and dad. Join us at the Find Your Why Foundation so that you can become even more frickin' awesome too.